In my initial pitch, I said I wanted to present my DA as a three-part video series. However, due to a lack of time and unforeseen family events, I fell behind in my work. As a result, I have not stuck to my initial plan, which was to have a video up by the end of week 8. Because of this, I have opted to film a two-part series that has slightly longer episodes. My topic, however, is still the same, looking at the future of music in regards to music production and music consumption, and how the music industry may change in the next 50 years. Exploring the potential, probable, and preferred futures. Looking at the rise of streaming services, services becoming obsolete, income streams, to name a few. At this stage, I have conducted predominantly all my research regarding the future of music production, including an interview with Sydney musician Benjamin Maker. However, as I said, I failed to stick to my initial plans of having the first video uploaded. This is something I intend to do over the coming days. Because of this, I have created a new course of action that will allow me to upload a two-part video series while still taking into account that I have other classes and deadlines, which is something I felt my first plan didn't do. The initial idea of a three-part series was to make the videos around 4 minutes in length, so it's easy to watch and doesn't drag on. However, to compensate for the third episode, I plan on making the videos around 6 minutes in length, which is still an acceptable watch time. According to Statista, the average YouTube video length is at 11.7 minutes. Music content generally had the shortest video length among all categories on the platform, with an average length of 6.8 minutes per video, meaning I'm still below the average video length. Video 1 will look at music production with a more holistic approach, as this was mentioned in my feedback loop. The video also looks at the possible, potential, and preferred futures of music production. Video 2 will be looking more specifically at video consumption, with the same holistic approach, and again we'll look at the possible, potential, and preferred futures in the next 50 years. The first 2/3 of each video will address the past, present, and future music production and consumption, whilst the last third will be exploring the potential, preferred, and possible futures of each. As I haven't uploaded a working prototype to create a feedback loop, I did the next best thing and discussed my future cultures topic with my family and friends, who are all music orientated. The feedback on the work I've done so far was relatively positive and gained some constructive criticism. This being on facets such as making my arguments more succinct, use the graphics to engage the audience as opposed to just filling the screen, elaborate more on the structure changes of the music industry in regards to centralized and decentralized structures. I also received feedback from my tutor. He suggested to look at each topic with a more holistic approach and to look into funding options, income streams for creative labor, globalization, etc., to make the topic more substantial, which is something I've taken into account and have added into my script for my first video. Moving forward, I want to upload part 1 of my video series, keeping in mind the comments made in my feedback loop. To comment the issues presented in said loop, I will use better quality graphics that are more relevant and engaging, provide a holistic view of industry practices, including the changes of structure that are taking place. Moving forward, my utility and target audience hasn't changed. It's only narrowed down as I've continued with research. I feel the project will be useful to aspiring musicians, those like myself who are just curious beings, and musicians in general, whether they're looking to get into the field or they're already in it, as I discuss the futures of the industry and what it may look like. The DA addresses the future cultures by focusing on the medium-term future, 50 years, and explores the possible, potential, and preferred futures. By looking at the medium-term future, I'm able to use current news and technologies to help in shaping my thoughts on what those futures may look like. As quoted from Wendell Bell, in order to understand where we're going in the future, we need to understand our past and present first. This series may also help shape my audience's attitude towards streaming services and the music industry, and may get them thinking about their own futures.